Greetings! In the name of Odul and Odulamaré, all that it is good and great, all that is blessed and beautiful, all that is creative and conscious, and all that is positive and possible. May the warm sun rays greet you each and every morning, and may your day always be full of joy. Hotep, I am Adisa Olubayo Bankole, and welcome to Tugboat Creative Publishing presents a prose entitled Beyond the Horizon. You must look up and look out far beyond the horizon. See a beautiful, powerful, colorful, and inspiring nation. Tap into its potential, to its people, its awesome power, to strive always to shine a light in the twilight hour. Here, on the pulse of this new day, Mr. President, you, the elder statesman, are now entrusted with the power to lead us out of the dark wilderness, to show us a vision, present the way so we can see a new day to enjoy all its brightness. Be that hope, that voice to set the tone of healing, but at the same time present the realities in all its depth and scope. And as Maulana Karenga suggests, redraw the moral and social map of America to lead us out of the winds of white hysteria. Madam Vice President, you now have the force to engage us with your youthful energy, your optimism, your vision. Let your presence be the catalyst for change, lending your voice to the day, to speak to us with forceful resolve, with depth and clarity. With your passion, your humanity, you have been given the mission to shine a light into our hearts and minds. Obligations of this esteemed office now lies in your hands to bring a sense of depth and purpose, allowing us to travel with you on this adventure into your stewardship, for you are of the times. You must look up and look out, far beyond the horizon. See a beautiful, powerful, colorful, and inspiring nation. Tap into its potential, to its people, its awesome power, to strive always to shine a light in the twilight hour. You both inherited a country full of life, full of hope, full of character, and full of passion to march forward into the bright suns of tomorrow. But you must always weigh the heaviness of yesterday's sorrow, to apply the wisdom, the intelligence, but also the compassion to govern a nation not only with authority, but the inner compass of humility, as well as empathy. Comprehension, intellectual pursuit, along with spiritual enlightenment, must be the guiding principles by which you will govern, to attempt to do as LBJ tried to, make America a great society. You must look up and look out, far beyond the horizon. See a beautiful, powerful, colorful, and inspiring nation. Tap into its potential, its people, its awesome power, to strive always to shine a light in the twilight hour. You, Mr. President, must reconcile with this nation's past cruelties along with today's indignity to the horrors of this our stained creation. Begin the painful understanding of the economic realities of slavery, the human cargo who, like Maya Angelou says, arrived on a nightmare praying for a dream, whose unpaid labor built a country with all its power and gleam. To wage war on the continued institutionalized racism, the burdens black citizens continually face, along with hangings of police brutalities. Lead us out of a xenophobia mindset and become what Reagan once described as the beacon of light upon the hill, that which gleams in a summer sunset. Be open to all immigrants, either from across the sea or from our southern borders, to speak to the better angels of ourselves and embrace the beauty, the uniqueness of those of different colors. Advocate for those wonderful dreamers to recognize their potentials so that they may continue their contribution to this nation's growth and become essential. Show compassion to those who toil in the fields as they labor to feed us, yet find no solace in this land of opportunity. only to find revulsion by many to their hue given into misguided mistrust. Begin the task of undoing the blood that flowed at the trail of tears and wounded knee, the harshness lauded upon the indigenous people whose land we now reside on. Begin the retribution of past sins so that they have a new future by which they can now see. Mr. President, as Vice President, you once quoted the poet Virgil who wrote, "The greatest wealth is your health." You now sit behind the resolute desk. You must now strive to make our country one full of wealth, one where its citizens have optimum health and can achieve their best. You must look up and look out far beyond the horizon. See a beautiful, powerful, colorful, and inspiring nation. Tap into its potential, to its people, its awesome power, to strive always to shine a light in the twilight hour. Madam Vice President, whose lineage speaks of ancient cultures, whose blood, like the river, flows with the power and majesty of a people long since gone like the dust in the wind, where cultures sprang forth bringing light to the world never to end. Daughter of Oshun, heart beating like the drums of Babatunde Olutunji out of Africa, speaking in the tongues of your mother's people to the humility of Mahatma Gandhi, the eloquence of the sounds of Ravi Shankar from the shores of India. Conscious, forged from the likes of Nanny of the Maroon to the great orator of Marcus Garvey, with the revolutionary sounds of Bob Marley, flowing with the powerful history of Jamaica. Born in the home of Huey Newton, the voice of the black community, engaged with your parents, struggling for civil rights while listening to the stirring sounds of Otis Redding, sitting on the dock of the bay as you looked out beyond the rising suns of America. You stand on the shoulders of Nzinga, Harriet Tubman, Kitcher, Chinama, Sojourner Truth, Susan B. Anthony, Betty Friedan, Shirley Chisholm, and Angela Davis. Now, you sit in the seat of power, have the responsibility by which you must carry out with resolute grace, dignity, quiet humility, and the power by design. You speak with the power of women both past and present, fighting for their voices, their rightful place in the chronicles of time, helping to rewrite a new story as it unfolds, to be part of that history where your name will be placed in a new American tale to be told. You must look up and look out, far beyond the horizon. See a beautiful, powerful, colorful, and inspiring nation. Tap into its potential, to its people, its awesome power, to strive always to shine a light in the twilight hour. We must begin the journey of inclusion and not be hostile to those who love differently. Step down from religiosity that denies the beauty, the imagination from the LGBTQ community. Welcome them with sincerity. Those who are disabled through no fault of their own must be treated with respect, with acceptance, and given a seat at the table. Together, we must be on one page on how to save our planet. This gift that has been bestowed to us from the ravages we have made upon this great Mother Earth, the debris we have left upon this land, so that our extinction could be put off to some distant age. Find solutions, be honest with our assessments, clear-minded with our strategies, strive to create a humane society with our master plan. Show benevolence to those downtrodden and homeless, for they too have a place to occupy. They too are citizens of this democracy, this our country. Give aid and comfort to our seniors, for they have much to teach. Protect our vulnerable, our children, for they have far to reach. Let us not embrace the macho persona of Eric and Don Jr., Palmer, and or the heartless Talley, who felt the need to be cruel for cruel's sake. May Caesar the Lion be a reminder that will forever be etched in our minds of the malice of man, for his insatiable need to control, to be in command. Nature made no mistake. Cruelty to the least of these, whose defense is limited, should always be protected by us. For this is what the universe has bequeathed to us. This is our fate. Whether we see ourselves as progressives riding on the winds of change, trying to create a world full of peace and harmony, or conservatives feeling the need to stand upon a sturdy rock, holding on to security, or independents looking for a balance, striving for the middle, trying desperately not to fall in line with conformity. We are all Americans, whether we are religious, atheist, or agnostic, no matter our beliefs from coast to coast. Yes, this is our space. This is our land. We must learn to share this magnificent country from mountains to the seas to the shores surrounded by particles of sand. You must look up and look out far beyond the horizon. See a beautiful, powerful, colorful, and inspiring nation. Tap into its potential, to its people, its awesome power, to strive always to shine a light in the twilight hour. Let us, with the guidance of this president, not shirk from our obligation, though we must hold this administration's feet to the fire, fiercely critique them when they veer off their pledges and their duties for this country's trajectory. Yet, at the same time, praise them when they move in the direction that we need for them to go, while being fastidious in their responsibilities. But we must also hold ourselves accountable, not to believe that this president will have all the answers nor can resolve every problem. Do our part to help in our own way, not to give in to intolerance, disrespect, bigotry, cynicism, fear-mongering, and downright mindless people without seeing. You must look up and look out far beyond the horizon. See a beautiful, powerful, colorful, and inspiring nation. Tap into its potential, to its people, its awesome power, to strive always to shine a light in the twilight hour. With courage and compassion, faith and faith, resilience and resolve, with quiet dignity, with depth of consciousness, you, Mr. President, you, Madam Vice President, have been given the daunting undertaking to steer this ship back on course from dystopia into the calm waters of euphoria, to lead a country from the dark shadows of fascist ideology, myopic paradigms of exceptionalism, the continuous excursion into exclusion, the idolatry of ignorance, and the theocracy of tribalism. Begin the journey to openness and pluralism, to establish the beauty of intellectualism once again. Bridge the gap between a true and practical vision opposed to the frenzies of purism. We must walk down that path with you. Walk towards our tomorrows while remembering what we left behind, to learn from those lessons even when they cause great pain and sorrow. Your mandate is to heal, to unify, to help us become better stewards of this gift of ours. But we too must be willing to work with you as a unified nation to usher in a brighter future, indeed a new dawn for this our nation we call America, although not a perfect union, but a feasible utopia. You must look up and look out far beyond the horizon. See a beautiful, powerful, colorful, and inspiring nation. Tap into its potential, to its people, its awesome power, to strive always to shine a light in the twilight hour. I want to say Madasi P and Asante Sana for all of you listening to this creative project. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please give me a shout out on YouTube, on my YouTube channel, on Facebook, and on Twitter. Let me know what you think. Again, have a pleasant and wonderful 2021. This is Adisa Olobayo Bankole. Peace.